Genius is an ancient term for the voice in our head that is capable of doing something for the first time, that's capable of being generous, that's capable of being original. And our job is to let the genius out. You aren't a genius. We are all carrying genius. So let's call it 30 Days of Genius, because every single person watching this also has genius. Now, the challenge with letting the genius out is it might not work. And that expression, it might not work, is super hard to say out loud. I say it out loud all the time. Because the fear cannot be defeated. The fear will not go away. The fear is hardwired into us for good reason.
Yeah, literally DNA, survival.
Yeah. And the thing is, we're just mistaken. Because you had a reason to be afraid during the Spanish Inquisition. And you have a reason to be afraid if a baseball bat's flying into the stands. So your amygdala is activated. Your lizard brain goes into defensive mode. But if you have to give a presentation at work or speak to your kid's 3rd grade class, you're afraid. Why? What's going to happen exactly? Nothing. So we have all this false fear. Now, you can paralyze yourself trying to make it go away. You can read everything and study everything and be sure you're right. That's exhausting.
Yeah,
the other thing
impossible.
you can do is you can dance with it. And if you dance with the fear and say, oh, it's a compass, it's giving me a hint that I'm on to something, and I'm doing something that might not work. I grew up in Buffalo where there are bowling leagues, right? And one of the drivers of bowling is you got to pay by the game. So I only got 3 games. I got to be careful with my rolls. Well, what would happen if you had unlimited bowling? If you had unlimited bowling, you could practice different shots. You could practice different approaches. Don't worry about it. We're not keeping score. That's where we live now. Unlimited bowling. And so we got to decide, are we just constantly trying to get it just right down the center, which is boring and isn't going to get us anywhere? Or do we have the guts to say, you know, this might not work, but I'm going to persistently and consistently and generously bring it forward. So that's like the first pillar that anyone who thinks of themselves as a creative has to acknowledge, that if you're asking for a guarantee, you're in the wrong line.